Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Aaron Airs. This time we're in the United States in Cape Hatteras on the East Coast. Here's what's coming up in this edition of the show. I head to the S, one of the biggest events on the calendar. Park riding is our next focus in my movie project 20. I sit down with Craig Cunningham, one of the most tech riders on the park scene. Want to try and improve your rail skills? Check out the Hadlow Academy. I sit down with Noe Font to re-watch my section in the bubble film. Thinking about taking a trip to the USA? Cape Hatteras has some of the best conditions. And finally, the winner of the location contest is announced. Okay, let's get into it. The S is one of the longest lasting events on the calendar. I've been coming here since 2008 and hardly missed a year since. Nowadays it's known as 100% park riding. Let's see how it went for me this time around. All right, we're here, it's the S 2018.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I mean, I've been coming to the S now for 9 years. Yeah, we're currently on standby. There's a bit of a storm coming right now.
All right, that's a wrap for the 2018 S Invitational. We've had a great week here. We could have done with a bit more wind, but we did get a result in the end. So now we're setting up for a concert. It's the last day and we're out tomorrow. With every destination we travel to and every episode of Aaron Airs comes a new section for my movie 20. This time we're riding rails at Real Water Sports. This is what we've been up to this time around. You can stay up to date with our project through our new website, 20.aaronhadlow.com. Park riding is relatively niche due to the availability of obstacles, maybe the cost to create them, or even the risk associated to them. But in the last few years, there's been quite a momentum behind it. I caught up with Craig Cunningham to see why this discipline is so addictive. Alrighty, dude, thanks for coming out and having a little chat. We're out here on the dock.
Yeah, I think the first time I came out here was 12 years ago. I basically learned to kite, started reading the mags, and heard about this place and came down here, and they just finished up the S where they put out the DVD. So I bought the DVD, and yeah, it just kind of influenced me straight away. There's parks and snowboarding, there's parks and skateboarding and wakeboarding, so why not kiting, you know? Definitely in the next years we're going to see a few more like fun box type features with all sorts of different lines that are possible. And maybe if you have it out here in the slick and you have a 12-man final, all 12 guys can hit that thing in a different way. Riding at the cable, I really get amped in the first few days because everything's perfect. It's just like the perfect day of kiting and you can learn so much. But then actually when I came down here earlier on in the season, we had like 4 or 5 days of perfect southwest wind. And within the first few days, I did every trick that I learned on our trip to Thailand this year. You see the potential for kiting on those good days, and just, I guess, always leaves you wanting more when you've had a few days like we had the last few days of the event. Well, straight after the S, we're moving into Send It, this Hollywood movie. Actually, the guy who puts up the prize money and is the main sponsor, Wind Voyager, he thought the best way to grow kiteboarding in North America is to bring in one of the hottest Disney stars these days. Some big name Hollywood producers are doing the whole thing, and yeah, they started shooting the other night at the 2 Chainz concert. So regardless how the movie comes out, I think it's going to be good for kiting. And
Nice.
Then after that, straight to Puerto Rico with you guys for the new Vegas shoot.
Well, nice one, dude.
All right, man. Cheers. Have a good one.
Rail riding is one of the most technical disciplines in kiteboarding and sometimes the most difficult to understand. But don't worry, I'm here with the Hadlow Academy to run you through some of the basics. We're here at Real Water Sports, home to some of the best features for park riding in kiteboarding. We're at the S and there's 3 rails and 2 kickers. So whilst we were here, we thought it was a great opportunity to tell you about some of the basics if you're interested in getting into park riding. First thing you should learn before hitting the sliders is bearing off downwind, riding unhooked with the kite whilst keeping tension and speed. When you start feeling comfortable, you can try some ollies and 180s. Approach the feature by going downwind at the angle the obstacle is facing, and ollie. Get used to ollieing even if it's a ride on rail, as this will prepare you for advanced tricks and harder obstacles later down the line. Kickers are usually positioned slightly more upwind than a rail. Approach it by coming in on a regular edge with speed. As you approach the kicker, bear off downwind and hit the jump with your weight centered through the board. This will give you the most slack for your tricks in the air. When you feel ready, you can try some frontside 360s or backside 180s, or even a flip. Remember, all the tricks can be done from the heel side, but also your toe side. Sliders should be placed more downwind, but the exact position depends on the wind strength. Just keep in mind that your kite should be pulling you in the direction of the rail when you are unhooked. First practice your 50-50s, and then backside board slide. As you advance, you can try frontside board slide, and finally rotations on and off the rail. As you progress, remember that there are some rules to follow. In board sports, we value perfectly executed tricks that show your control over the board. For example, if you want to do a board slide, keep your board perpendicular to the feature at all time, or else some local rider will call Zeechin on you. All tricks are made with multiples of 90 degrees. Also make sure that all rotations are properly executed in the air and not while sliding on the rail. If there's some advice I could give you, it would be to spend some time on simpler tricks until you execute them 100%. Then move on to some more advanced moves. Quality over quantity. Last year I shot a part for the Bubble movie, so I sat down with Noe Font, the creator, to talk about what it took to shoot my section. Nice one, Noe, come in and see. It's been a while since we filmed the Bubble film. It's like a year now. It's pretty cool to watch it back again. It's been a while since I watched it and it feels like ages since we were filming.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking at like one of the first trips and stuff, I even feel older now just looking back and remembering what we were up to and how the idea developed from just wanting to do a long full-length film and turning into the concept, the bubble and the parts and all the trips.
What was good is in Australia, where the majority of it was shot, we made like this massive list and we like ticked it off and we were like, okay, we don't even need this one. Let's make the list for Cape Town already and we'll deal with that later.
To me, it's really important to like show the trick from the angle it looks good from. A lot of tricks can be shot from the wrong angle and make them look really bad, which I think we focused a lot in Australia. We were like, okay, today I'm filming this setup, you're gonna do this trick, that trick, and just ticking them off the list.
Yeah, exactly. There was quite a few tricks, wasn't there? It's just weird how you go through cycles. Like, there's certain tricks that you just have on lock sometimes, and then others that you lose, and that was the point when I was riding where I just couldn't get this KGV 5 very often, and I just got one. I'm like, oh, I hope you got it. And we're like back on the beach checking the clip. We're like, yeah, we just made it. It's good.
On the first day, or one of the first days that you tried it, you got a really good one, like holding it for a long time, but then you just land and like pop the bar. And we would look at this shot every day and just compare it to the ones that you landed. No, it's not as good until you like got the one. And
it takes so much for each of these tricks. It's so much different to what people see online, I guess, where it could be 1 or 2 sessions or like a 1-week trip. Like, you know, when you're spending days just to get certain tricks, it really adds to the whole thing. I think that's what made the difference for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, for my section, I tried to focus more on like my riding, because that's the only part I can control, right? Yeah. And then the trips that I did with Vince or other filmmakers, then I focused on the more artistic and, you know, more like detail shots. But for most of the time when you or Craig or Colleen were filming, I was just basically setting up the angle that I wanted for my own trick and just, you know, riding for that angle in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming from a 9 clip, keeping them in mind like your mom's when she buying wick. Don't fall for that tight slick playing mind tricks, or you'll be swimming in the dark like a blind fish. See, you could lose yourself and let your mind slip, or gain control and tighten your grip. The time is now. Time for us 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 is.
Nice one, dude. Cheers. You may have heard of Cape Hatteras, Triple S, maybe real kiteboarding, but it's not such a well-known destination for people outside of North America. Let's have a look at what this spot has to offer. Small islands and inlets on the sound side of the peninsula create many perfect flat water spots for freestyle. If you cruise around, you can find spots with nobody around. The water is shallow almost everywhere, and the wind is side on shore, so you can explore easily. Riders from all around the world are coming to real water sports for one reason only: sliders. They own 5 of the best features in the sport, and if you stay in their accommodation, you can use the park as part of the package. On the ocean side, you will find a long beach exposed to the Atlantic with many great beach breaks. In no-wind days, it's the best way to get your share of some of the action. Sometimes the wind lines up to wave ride with your kite as well. A must-do in Cape Hatteras are the downwinders. The sound side of the peninsula is full of grassy islands and small rivers that are just perfect to cruise through and jump over. Finally, it's the public section, where we see the winner of the most amazing location. We've had loads of entries from all around the globe. Here's our top 3. Thanks to everyone that entered. Again, we've had so many entries, it's so hard to pick the winners. We can only have the top 3, so let's run through them. In 3rd place we have Luca Payne. He's doing a back roll, or maybe a back mobe, in front of the famous One Eye Mountain in Mauritius. In 2nd place we have Floris Frequin. We asked for unique spots, and this was definitely one of them. Check him out here in the snow. But in 1st place is Liam Walton. He's lined up his trick in this amazing location, right in front of a snow-capped mountain. Well done. Congratulations, you are the winner of your choice of North Kiteboarding's foot pads or boots. Next time we'll be giving away a Triple S jersey and a Neo jacket from Ion. All you have to do is send your best grab trick to airs@aaronhadlow.com. Don't worry if you don't have a high quality production. You can just grab a phone and take a picture or video, and we are just looking for the best trick. Well, that's the end of episode 3. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to share and subscribe. And remember, your feedback is welcome. Just drop a comment and have your say. I'll see you next time in episode 4.